game audio comes up right now. There we go. Oh, cool. Continue. Okie dokie. By holding L to...
He blew through slinger range like it was nothing.
Almost. I think. Okay, no, that's not what I'm. Oh yeah, right. Holding. Well, no, wait a minute. What? That's that. That's shield. I haven't actually. Okay, we'll see. See what we'll do. Okay, so for now we just continue forward because we've done all the things we can't do any additional stuff because we have no shards. Correct. Got that maxed out. We cannot afford this. Right. Well, then let's go. And we won't do that one. We won't do that one because that one's annoying. Jawson Bog is next then. Rest somewhere in this fetid, overgrown marsh, known for driving men mad. I forgot to press info again, but sure.
After Zolf's little episode, Kid sets off in search of shards. First stop, Jawson Bog. You'll get lost in that bog, I told the kid, and I won't be able to guide you back. Well, I let him go. What else could I do? What could any of us do?
So I know it. Do. E was for that. Throw it. Yes. Okay. Good. Okay. This leads to nothing.
Zolf put us in a real bind. Hurt the Bastion bad.
Tiny bit.
But the shards can make it better. They're like smaller doses of the core's medicine.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nothing. Okay. Hey, well, look at that.
Shame
Shard.
the only place to fill that prescription is out here in the wilds. This place is intoxicating.
Oh, and he just happened to fucking pass out in front of it?
Don't know where he's gone.
Doing a
Might be
wave
gone
thing.
for good for all I know. Wherever he is. Somewhere I never been. Somewhere I never want to go.
Yeah. Whoa. Oh. Here we go. Oops, there's a rock there. Now you're dead. Oh, there you are.
You're dead and welcome him with open arms. Kid pops him good.
I'm not a fan of that. Okay.
That a survivor? No, ma'am. It's a lonesome ghost of a gas fella.
I especially hate these enemies because they are so incredibly subtle with their tell of attacking.
What do you say to a kid who's seen too much?
Especially when you're in the middle of combat before, or when it's not just one you have to deal with. Oh my god,
Now
that's
the kid
incredibly
sees something
bright.
stranger still. Did anybody else survive? Sure enough, he finds peckers, lunkheads, wallflowers, pincushions, vine apples, swamp weeds, ankle gators.
Fucking really? Fuck you, bird.
Now the Bastion can send them even farther into the wild unknown.
Now they're friendly, quote unquote.
Kid sets foot inside one of Ceylondia's famous watering holes.
Wow. This one's huge.
He has the nerve to flash the shield he stole.
You. Jesus.
Kid succeeds where the calamity failed. Would you look at what he did to poor old Ronde the bartender? Proper story's supposed to start at the beginning. It's so simple with this one. Now here's a kid whose whole world's alright, snoozing there on a rock in the sky. He wakes up. I'm just fooling. He sees what's left of the rippling walls. Years of work undone in an instant. He sees what's left of Pith, the bull. The gods, they're all undone. He sees what's left of his lifelong friend.
Sure, I'll just fucking.
He's come undone too. He sees what's left. Undone.
Oh, this is weird. Incredibly weird to not have the screen scroll with you.
Thought we'd lost him, but he finally comes to. The shard ain't lost either. Not anymore. Now to find a ticket out of this hole.
Oh Jesus, what the?
Bootlickers dig their nasty thorns into his heels. disgusting things. Ever heard of a lung blossom?
Fuck are you?
It's bigger than the stories say. The breath on that thing, like a scumbag sprung a leak.
Oh god. It's not quite working. And yes, it will either. I can counter it, but it's not shooting it at them. Also, hello, chess.
Say one whiff.
Yay. Oh, please, yes, thank you. I guess it's...
Mother only knows what happened in the bog. Kid never much cared to speak of it. A shard is like a poor man's core, but beggars can't be choosers. That's it. A few more shards like that, and we'll be back in business. A single shard can breathe new life into this place. The shard's got enough juice to spruce up any of these places.
Ah, okay. The true distillery grants access to potent spirits from the private reserve. The true arsenal grants access to the trapper snare, a powerful secret skill. There's access to 2 additional upgrade tiers, unlocking the full potential of each weapon.
Bastion ain't gonna build itself. Well, not entirely.
Grants access to new idols. Oh, okay, this one is least interesting. Grants access to additional inventory, including new spirits. Is there anything in here? Oh, yeah, right. Just grants access to a variety of new vigils in remembrance of calamity. Alright, so what do we have available? We have this one. % damage when counter blocking. Automatically retaliate when injured. I mean, sure.
Stay absinthe is like drinking a cool breeze. Just don't go spitting needles everywhere.
How much I can fucking tell? No. 500, okay. Well, I can't really access any of these ones yet anyways, then well, except this one. Found maybe? This gives me a skill, which I mean, okay, they say it's powerful, so sure.
Complete in case we need protection.
Does it do Confiscate a snaring kit that instantly springs open to immobilize foes in the user's vicinity. Traps relied on this for hunts that didn't go as planned. What does that mean? Does that do anything to dudes that have ranged attacks even? That shoots around. I only have 2 mil. We'll try that. That'd be more interesting. We shall see.
The city tried to use the shards to stake out the wilds. So much for that plan. The less said about Jawson Bog, the better. That place will eat your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Rothless Lagoon. Even the brushers stopped going there. Didn't like being eaten.
Folktales say this is where the legendary Ankle Gator Queen resides. Uh-huh.
Ankle gators used to roam the wilds, and they nested at Rothless Lagoon. Many a tale folks used to scare their children straight originated here.
Made your mind, but it's the only mission available, so sounds good, yeah.
All kinds of beasts with don't know up from down, still looking about.
This no sneaky decoy.
Only the city's brushers knew their way around the lagoon.
Oh, okay.
Even the brushers learned to fear this place. They used to think that ankle gators were extinct.
Mm-hmm. I'm guessing they were wrong.
Well, they ain't. One of them's been living in the tall grass. They called her Queen Anne.
Yeah.
Turns out Queen Anne got a hold of a shard. Ankle gators love shiny things.
I'll go up. Okay. Yeah.
Know what smells worse than an ankle gator's breath? A stinkweed. Can't fight Queen Anne without the proper tools.
And I'll be on. Yeah.
Ain't
Okay.
time for pecker hunting, but the kid can't resist.
Oh, okay. These are. Okay, no.
The lagoon's got plenty of other dangers, of course.
Oh, that's not how this works? Okay. So... Or is it just the fact that... Okay.
The brushers use their pikes to keep their distance around here. Now the kid can do the same. Sharp sticks make Queen Anne nervous, so she backs off a bit.
Please stop doing that.
Those pincushions been living off the ankle gator's scraps.
You say as if they were sentient, but so far I haven't really seen that being the case. But these guys might be.
Into some kind of twisted trap. One bad step in that tall grass and he's Queen Anne's lunch. He holds his ground. Seems the Queen's running out of options. He takes off after her. The closer you get to an ankle gator's lair, the thicker the tall grass grows. Kid's gotta make a run for it.
Yeah, yes, as
that
much.
Old gator's right on his tail.
Well, I guess I'm. Might as well kill this thing since it gives me experience. Thank you. What is. Okay, I see. Hey, hold on. What is up here then? Ah.
Queenie must have scared a bunch of peckers out of hiding. Seems even stinkweeds know to stay away from the Queen.
But they can't walk. These don't look like they can. What's that? Oh, something pointed. Die, birds!
Ankle gators don't much care for their young. That's why there ain't many around.
Okay.
Want to know how to find an ankle gator lair? You use a kid as bait.
Okay.
Now she's coming for him. She's got nowhere else to go. The shard's sitting in plain view. They say if you run across an ankle gator, you better keep running. She's starting to get annoyed.
Too bad.
And now he's made her mad.
There you go.
Peace, Queen Anne. That was for the brushers.
Dead. Dead. There we go. Can I grab this? Oh, I can. Bow!
He's got it, and he's home free.
Am I? Apparently.
Kid's done what needed to be done. Queen Anne's reign is over. We even got a crown jewel. All that trouble for a single shard. But you know what? It was worth it.
Guess now we go for this.
Just the occasion to crack open the distillery's private reserve.
We got fallen malt, reduce damage from falling. 100% by falling on foes. No. Black rye. +2 black tonic capacity. Survive an attack that would have brought defeat. Ah, I see. Definitely putting that on. Do I even need 10 plus health? What does that even?
Wine so rich, they say it's brought men back from the brink for one last taste.
How much is 10 health? Like, do I know what my health is? Like, how much is 10 max health? Is that a lot? Is that a small amount? I can't really tell. Because I don't even know if my health bar have gone larger or if it stayed the same.
They said Queen Anne was just a folktale. Now there's living proof she ain't.
It's a noticeable amount, but not massive. I'm gonna stand here. Okay. Okay, the bar doesn't change. I wish I could see like a number somewhere, but
That Gator's a crazy gal. So is the gal who promised to look after her.
okay. Sure.
He ain't all that shy.
Okay, we got a pike.
With a pike and repeater in hand, he's like a man come straight from the wilds.
Something pointy. Alright. Critical hit chance, faster throw, reload. And something because we need to do that. Okay. I see.
Points just don't get any sharper than that.
Try that. Hit damage. I mean, do I even have a crit chance for this weapon? Do I have base crit damage? Or crit chance? May have. +1 blades. Alright, 2. I mean, sure. We'll do that. We'll see what happens. Because I need to be back here. Switch it out. I need to switch out this ability. Or something else. I guess we can equip this and see what this does. Pike's Vault, okay. She'll view wheeler leaps into the air and crush down on a space phone. That could be cool.
It wasn't fixed, it was unbroken. The next shard should be farther out there in the wilds.
Yeah,
Over there's Camp Dauncey, where the brushers steeled themselves for secret missions. To prepare for the wilds, Ceylandia's brushers practice at Camp Dauncey. Had to navigate a maze of pincushions with nothing but a pike.
Okay.
It's a dangerous test for a dangerous job.
I'm... like... Hey?
The Brushers were Ceylandia's field agents, and their training was harsh.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you're supposed to do that.
You had to find a path through the maze as quick as you could. One well-placed throw could take out several of those ugly critters.
It can. Okay. I'm only gonna sort of try, just get through this one. I'm not gonna try harder to do this. This is too large scale for me to care. I guess you need to memorize the whole layout and whatnot and be like, okay, what's the most effective way to go through everything?
Just getting through the course in one piece was an accomplishment.
Sure, whatever. It's not that hard.
You can see why the Brushers prize
Sure,
those pikes
but I
of
don't
theirs.
really intend to use the spear, so I don't care as much. That's also a reasoning for why not.
Point Lemaine's Grand Rail once brought the riches of the wild right to our doorstep. Know how Ceylandia became the richest city in the world? 2 words. Point Lemaine. If the wilds could ever be tamed, it was gonna happen right here. The Army's triggers once had the place on lockdown. Kid might as well pick up where they left off. Blam! Just like my fighting days. Gun like that can even put the wilds in check.
I immediately don't like this weapon necessarily, outside of the fact that it has a lot of range.
Point Lemaine seemed
It's
better days,
incredibly
for sure.
slow, and I
But
feel
it
like
ain't done.
this is not the game for that.
Whole place shudders in a fit. The Grand Rail of Point Lemaine. Not only is it still there, it still works. Of course, it's no longer shipping hides and alloys and spices, but it can give the kid a lift.
Oh, it doesn't penetrate
As
either?
long as he can stay clear of the trouble on the tracks.
Ooh.
grand rail's all grown over with things the Calamity chewed up and spat out. Things eager to take back their turf. Settled in like they own the place. Not
sure.
Takes fancy footwork on the rail. What with wallflowers, cough, and fungus everywhere. Only one way to cure a cough like that.
Didn't even shoot. No. Didn't even go in my direction. Went perfectly past me.
The place used to be closed off, but now it's split open like a rotten pineapple. Of course, the Grand Rails seem much more fighting in bygone times.
We'll upgrade this. Did that for now.
Near on 50 years ago, first
anyway,
shots
this
fired
one.
in the Ura-Celandian War.
Yep.
It was right here that Zolf's Ura forefathers decided to mix it up.
Hey.
Okay, so maybe we didn't get their sign-off on the whole Grand Rail thing. That was bad. The rail must have shook the Ura to the bone down in those dens of theirs.
Thank
Well,
you.
the rail won't last much longer now that the kid took the shard. It's still got one good run in store for it. All the rotten wood there on the rails turned it into Swamp Weed Central. Ever tried dancing side to side while holding your breath?
No.
While choking on swamp weed? While peckers trying to prick you in the eye? Well, let me tell you, it ain't fun.
How did I miss?
Then, at last, it's the end of the line. He'll be picking swamp weed out of those boots for days.
Oh, thank you.
Turns out he's got company up at the radio station, waiting for him. Not just another wallflower, pincushion, mind you. At first, he thinks it's Zolf. Turns out he's wrong. This is for you, says the man. Then wham.
Okay.
When the kid comes to, the man's long gone, but something else is there.
Letter addressed to Zia. It appears to be written by Solf. We must have found another survivor to deliver the message. Maybe Solf taught Zia enough of the later language to be able to read this.
The only words kid recognizes on that parchment are for Zia. Well, what's a kid to do? He took the shard, he took the hit, and he took that note. That note cuts straight to the heart of things, don't it? It ain't too late to unlock the potential of this place. Ain't saying much, but that's the greatest forge in all the city.
Right. Hmm. 200, okay. Might as well. What's that? Yeah.
Zolf's messenger was one of his people. Wonder just how many of them survived, and what exactly Zolf told them.
And did I get this?
Finding gourmet ingredients ain't easy these days, but we'll take what we can get. The note says it plain. Zia, go east to learn the truth about the calamity and our people. I'll be waiting. Sincerely, Zolf.
Guess we're going east.
The shards are getting harder to find. No risk of Culford Cauldron ever erupting again, they used to say. Guess they were wrong. Not everything blew up in the calamity. Why Culford Cauldron here blew up way ahead of its time. The cauldron boiled over some 300 years ago.
No.
They say it filled the skies with ash and the lakes with molten rock. If you wanted to survive something like that, you had to learn to adapt. So in a way, the beasts of the wilds, they're all survivors too. As for us, we learned an awful lot from Culford Cauldron. That learning led to some interesting inventions.
The fuck is this? Oh, they just...
The raw power of the world fell right into our hands.
Sure. Seems incredibly weird.
Playing with the cauldron's fires became an addiction.
I mean, it's more the fact that there's fragments.
Sure, we dusted off a good many secrets out here. But we discovered other things we're better off not knowing. The unforgiving scent of sulfurous dirt. The taste of air so hot it sticks to your lungs. All sorts of awful things crawling underfoot. You can cook those things, but you can't eat them.
Okay.
Never thought we'd find so much life in all that ash.
I wouldn't even consider this a weapon. I would consider this a tool.
The more ash we swept aside, the more life we found.
Like, what I
Places
need the
in
least is
hospitals
more
and
weapons that are like non-mobile.
Still, we pressed on.
Could this bird please fucking die?
After all, when we look down inside Colford Cauldron, look down through all the smoke and flames. We saw in there the heart of the world, the heart now laid bare by the calamity. We had to have it. As for the kid, he just has to get that shard out of there. Too bad taking that thing woke up every last stink eye from here to Jocelyn Bog. Kid's thinking he's got to trek all the way back around the cauldron. Luckily, the cauldron cooked up a little shortcut for him. Sure, it ain't the most convenient path. Biggest stink eye he's ever seen's waiting for him on the other side. Well, it ain't polite to stare. Where there's one stink eye, there's always more. The cauldron's tenants all gather up to bid the kid a fond farewell. With a good spyglass, you can still see the cauldron from the city.
Bye.
But all the fires died out. There's nothing left of it. It comes back looking like the inside of a chimney.
Ugh.
They said the wild could never be tamed. If only they could see us now. The shard works like a charm. You can hear the monument's heartbeat again. We need an awful big lost and found under the circumstances. A culture. A still life of old unwanted keepsakes. I've asked a lot of the kid, but this is something he's done on his own.
Gains health by counterblocking. Gains health by striking foes. 5% chance to turn zealous after defeating a foe. Will says gain 200% damage for 30 seconds. Damage resistance. Give me that.
Bold brandy is thicker than paint. Makes your skin feel as tough as knife bark.
Yes.
We're all a little short on friends these days, so that's a welcome sight. We spotted a pecker carrying a shard to Mount Zand.
Mount Zand. Is that inside the remains of a holy mountain, once filled with flora and fauna?
Not much left of Mount Zand nowadays. It's like a cross between a zoo and a prison break. Can't rightly call Mount Zand a mountain anymore.
So what do you call him?
There's no more mountains now. So they figure they'll hold out right here, on a slab of mountain the Calamity forgot. There's no place left for the beasts of the wild to go. Good thing for those beasts the Calamity saved leftovers. We only found their little lair because they found themselves a little shard.
I think I hate these guys the most.
The creatures of the wild, they've been building a bastion of their own.
side. Okay. Yo, same for you.
Best thing we can do for those beasts right now is put them down quick and clean. Besides, we have to take back what's ours. Even if the beasts of the wilds won't like it.
I feel like these weapons don't fit this game.
What the city left behind, those beasts took for themselves.
Like you should have quick or at least semi-quick weapons that don't require you to be stationary or get lower movement. I already put... Let's test it. Yeah, okay.
Look at it this way. It's either them or us. But if we win, they win too. Our Bastion is everybody's game, not just ours.
You. On, aim for it.
Unfortunately, there's no explaining that to a simple beast. Those beasts been hard at work fixing up the place. They've been searching for cores and shards, just like we have.
Bam.
They've rounded up their survivors, just like we have.
Pew, pew. Was this nothing? Guess this was nothing. Guess we're going. Nope. Oh, right. This is. Oh. Whatever.
Maybe they've thought about turning back, just like we have. We just really need their shard. Kid got it fair and square.
Oh boy. go.
That's the way. He's done what's best for him, don't you worry. Don't you worry.
Yeah, I don't worry about plants.
We'll all be better off once the Bastion is complete. The monument's getting better. Zolf sure did a number on it, though. The memorial may be finished, but our part is far from over. Fixed that thing right up, didn't we? Made these goings-on a little livelier. Suppose it's true a little song can put things in perspective.
Draw speed, tutorial penetration per shot.
His bow's looking lean and mean like a prize fighter. Arrows like that can practically find their own way. Just a couple shards left. The quarry's gotta have one, right?
Are we speaking the actual term of couple, meaning 2 left, or?
The secret to how we built Caelondia so tall and proud lies in Burstone Quarry.
Once there were many such treasures in this key source of Caelondia's wealth. No, I just meant in terms of him saying there's just a couple left. If he meant
Imagine
2 shards, or if
everything
he
you need to
meant
build
not
a
2
city like
shards.
Caelondia.
When you
Takes
say a
hard
couple,
work and planning.
you mean
It
2,
also takes
unless you
Burstone
don't mean
Quarry.
2. And you just use the word couple.
The Ura tunnels beneath the quarry must have softened the blow.
Because you don't know that you need to use something else.
We bought the whole place from the Ura on the cheap. Same goes for its natives, rattletails. Why would the Ura put up with those pests?
Oh.
The quarry came with a lifetime supply of windbags. Windbags smaller than the naked eye can see are nested in those rocks. Not only are these rocks a source of life, we found that the oldest ones remember things. They're recording everything, all the time, taking it all in. The quarry ain't exactly up to safety standards no more. No wonder all those beasts were drawn to the quarry. The rocks were calling them. Keeping the quarry free from pests turned out to be a problem. Rattletails kept tunneling in to snack on windbags. Without those windbags, the quarry might not have its special qualities. Even stink eyes started taking root in here. tended to the rocks, so we had to keep the rattletails at bay.
Okay.
Now, why would the Ura sell off such a fascinating place? Might be the gods told them the quarry's bad news. The Ura always were a superstitious lot.
Boom.
On top of that, you know the Ura hated anything above ground. Might be the quarry just got too much sunshine for their liking.
Is it talking about? Oh. Kind of confused there for a bit.
In any case, it's fair to say the quarry was a godsend.
Was it?
Those rocks, all polished to a mirror sheen.
Don't fucking damn it.
The largest ones, you know as cores.
Oh, okay, that's not okay. I can't even tell where to go at this point. I'm just walking in random directions.
The smaller ones, we call them shards.
And out this I can run.
The shards got a fraction of the core's power, enough to fuel a voyage to the motherland.
Yeah. Can't that be knocked back to her?
Well, now the quarry's all dried up. These rocks are much too young to be of use. Remember how I said rattletails ain't the worst thing in the quarry? That honor goes to a beast we took to calling Sir Lunky. Massive things stomped many of our boys. We just couldn't get rid of him. The only thing harder than the rocks in Bastion quarry is Sir Lunky's head.
Great! Just what I wanted. a boss version of the monster. God, they have such a weird hitbox, making them able to hit you very easily around this large area that is them. Did you just fall off instead? Yes, thank you. Fuck you.
To leave the quarry alone. Then the kid hears a voice calling from down the hall. Are you all right? It says. It's him. I've come to warn you, he says. The Bastion is under siege. Let it fall. You should not go back. Kid hears him, but he ain't about to be deterred. If that's the way it is, he says, then I won't stop you. Because my countrymen will. Say what you will about Zulf, but he's a man of his word. His countrymen don't much care for pleasantries, though. Too bad for that.
Oh, okay, no, you just okay.
Zulf showed him the way here, and here they came to take revenge.
Fucking.
They got inside the Bastion and shut the door. Kid's gotta go in through the back. I should have told him sooner about all this. To make matters worse, seems the Ura took the girl.
Wait.
Unfortunately, they broke in, and they started digging their hole. Something wrong sprung out of those holes, and it's eating away at this place. We tried to stop them, but
Fucking get destroyed.
somehow, some way, he sends those Ura packing. Problem is, it didn't matter. Zulf's plan worked. We find each other as the dust settles. Then I tell him why the Ura came. To get us back. For the calamity. It was Caelondia's master plan to wipe the Ura out. But part of that plan backfired, didn't it? If only Zulf knew the whole story. What were we to think? They must have got her, taken her back to her rightful home. The shards can put this disease in remission, but there's only one cure. We need to finish what we started. Seems the gods recommended this place to all their friends. Now all we need is one last shard. The Mercy. The windbags ain't the only beast that drew a bad lot. The conscience. We haven't lost everything, long as we have that. The sanctuary. If we can build, we can rebuild.
That gives me a lot of fragments. What do we do with that? Okie dokie, let's see. Extra special thingy. Okay. Probably this one. Arrows cause knockback. Arrows can stun. Oh,
Ain't
sure.
that the finest breaker's bow we ever seen? A solid frame can put an extra sting in every slice.
Firing rate.
Takes a careful
putting more
touch
damage
to rattle
in,
those
dude.
bones
Done.
like that.
This. Defend for a few moments and then attack. Going to uppercut. Knockback.
Ain't never letting go of his old friend with a sturdy grip like that.
Hey, I got another thing.
The city, its riches, nothing but fragments now.
I mean, more fragments to do stuff with, maybe. They'll need parts. Turret surprise! Uh-huh. Can you summon the turrets? Actually, okay. Let's see. Take that one, sure. Oh, and nothing else. Also, what is this? Oh, okay, I see. Do. Where the fuck? Yeah, right. The Forge. There we go. Attacking ignores armor. That's pretty neat. Overhead can stun. Just
He
do
put
that
some
instead.
finishing touches on the business end of that thing.
I might be interested in using these now. Guess, do we use whirlwind? I don't even know.
Ain't much kid can't handle with hammer and bow in hand. The Ura swooped down from the east. At least now we know the way.
But because we have this one upgraded a lot, you test this out. Oh yeah, we need to break shit.
There's another visit to the scrapyard for old time's sake. Worked too slow and all you got was a sore back. Some folks invested their earnings to forge even better hammers. The strongest, fastest folks
Yeah.
earn more than their fair share.
Want to see what this was, if this was better than the whirlwind one.
The kids worked the yard before, but that time it just plain destroyed it.
What do we got? A crushing attack that stuns any foe unlucky enough to get in the way. Fair enough.
Urzendra Gate used to lead down to the terminals. Now it leads up to the stars.
Those agents must also want the final shard, knowing it is the key to undoing the harm they cause. Oh, okay. I was like, what? But no, alright.
One last shard. It's all we need to put this mess behind us. And mother, what a mess it is. A mess like that could have only been made by hand. Zolf said the Calamity failed, and he's right. The Uras stand as living proof of that.
Right.
At the heart of the Calamity was a simple idea. We never wanted
Oh,
to
that
go
made
to
that
war
enemy
again.
way easier.
Wanted to rule it out. We put a lot of folks against that problem. Scientists, soldiers, spies, even me. We sought solutions far beyond the city. We traveled near as far as the kid's going right now.
Wow. Devastating. Oh, there was an edge there, Brent. Yeah, I can just one-shot these guys now, okay.
Most of our efforts didn't bear fruit. Then there was a breakthrough, but it didn't come from what I
Bam! Ah.
It came from an Ura, a brilliant young scientist named Ven.
That's... No, probably not.
Ven worked for the Mancers, the sharpest knives in the city's drawer. With his help, the Mancers devised a way to seal the Ura tunnel shut in a flash. Just like that, every last Ura living in the Tassel terminals gone. This discovery was never to be used, they said, except as a last resort.
Boom. Bam. I wonder what the last weapon is.
But Ven didn't like being manipulated. He had plans of his own.
Now it's very snowy,
He
apparently.
sabotaged the Mancer's little science project, set it to blow up in their faces. Imagine how Ven must have felt when they finally made him pull that trigger. We're lucky to be alive. But remember, the Bastion can fix everything. We just need that shard.
Whoops. Bam. Oh, you didn't insta-die. Well, I guess I didn't focus, so that's fine.
Too bad the Ura ain't exactly been willing to collaborate on that front.
Oh. Mortar chickens.
For now, Kid had a little choice but to pick up where the Calamity left off. First things first, though. There's someone we figured needed rescuing. Zia. The Ura fell back, no doubt planning the next move, but we knew ours already.
Oh, yeah, also that. Right, I need the material for the hammer. Does that exist in here at this very moment? No.
The country. She's all to pieces now, but still looking good.
Hey. You have... Oh, there was one there.
The Masons. We built the city strong. Now there's only two of us. Sometimes I want to ask him, why do any of this? But truth is, I don't want to know. There's something we had to do before going after that last shard. Zoltan's Hollow is the Ura's border blockade. At least it used to be.
Mm-hmm. Didn't know. My arms. Ouch. Hold on. I will be right back. And we're back. The kid falling constantly. Rocks accelerated. Wait. Okay.
Well, now it's personal, ain't it?
The fuck is that?
It's personal for him, and it's personal for me. He finds his moment to strike.
Bam.
They never saw him coming.
Calamity cannon.
He gets his hands on the care package I sent him.
Uh-huh.
It's a little something I've been fixing up in my spare time. Dara found a way to keep the calamity from spreading through Sultan's Hollow. They got their own security and everything. Pretty fancy even. Still, they ain't used to having visitors around. They've got these conductors that are all what's keeping the place together. You break enough of those things and the calamity rocks slink back into the ground.
Bam. Oh, okay.
Well, the Ura must be in a panic right about now. Those rocks are like tumors, the same kind the Ura planted in the Bastion.
Bam. Would like to see a random forge instead. I could potentially upgrade this weapon. Do I want? Well, yeah, I feel like it's probably fine.
They even sick their little rattletail heads on the kid. Those rodents are just a bump in the road.
Goodbye.
By now, every Ura from here to the terminals must know he's in town.
Bye, chicken.
Kid returns their greeting tenfold.
Ooh.
Most of the Ura's conductors are squared away in the middle of the hollow. It's not the time to get reckless.
Top. Top.
They're easy targets.
Oh. Bam.
Those calamity rocks must be eating that place apart from the inside.
They just die without them? Curious. All these fragments. Hell yeah.
The Ura keep hanging on to the barricade. After all, their homeland's not much farther. Maybe they know they've lost this. Lost to a kid. Some of them are downright bewildered by what's happening. They underestimate us. That's pegged overall. Yes, our people caused the calamity, but here we are trying to fix it.
Hey. Oh.
Shame the opportunity for civilized discourse is over.
Which? Oh, okay.
Suppose old Zolf should have got to know us better. Maybe I should have trusted him. Told him everything I knew.
Bam. Oh, they're not just invisible, they're also intangible. Gotcha. Yeah. Smack that chicken.
Zolf, the Ura, they have every reason to be angry. Beyond angry. But when this is all over, it'll all be water under the bridge. As the hour grows distant, the Ura bring out their big guns. Too bad for them. Our guns are bigger still.
Yeah, I was gonna say almost
There's
something
nothing standing in his
like
way.
that. Thank you.
He sees the Tazzle terminals loom large on the horizon. All those dreams snuffed out in the calamity. We'll bring them back.
Oh, it's another memento. Brewed by heartfelt illustration. It is inscribed in chalk on a stone surface. Unlike most of the Ura civilization, it survived the calamity more or less intact.
Way out there on the edge of the world. That's where he finally finds you. But it ain't like Prosper Bluff this time. Ain't nothing for this gal to sing about now. Zia, you weren't kidnapped. No, ma'am. You just had to see what happened to the Ura. To your own people. You had to see if everything Zolf wrote to you was true.
Oh, it's just...
The power of the calamity ain't well understood, but a hammer sure is.
Okay, what can we do with this? Rockets cause knockback. Rockets will not launch automatically. Okay. Curious. Manser missile. An experimental ordnance that breaks into a cluster of explosives on impact, spreading to... okay, I see. I think what I want is probably going to be the bow still.
I don't need to see what happened to the Ura. I'm trying to undo it, remember? Sure you didn't drop that twangy thing on purpose? Just to see if he'd go after you? They lost everything, didn't they? But they just keep on fighting like that's gonna bring it all back. Once the kid gets that last shard from Zolf, it'll all be over.
Well, it is the largest stage, so I'm gonna assume it's the last one. Maybe. They could always bring up another big stage.
The Tazzle terminals. All that's left of the Earth
No, it's
civilization. And
We'll
the
see.
last stop on his little journey.
Okay, it is the last, but it is the last one because they give you a warning. Unless it's a thing of no, there's a 2-stage, but you still can't go back after you click ready. But I mean, yeah, sure, I'm ready. Let's go.
I can't hear him at all anymore. He's too far away. But he'll be alright.
Where are these small fucking birds?
Just needs to get that shard from Zolf and come on home. The calamity hit the Tazzle terminals hardest of all. You know why Zolf went back there?
No, I don't. I don't even know which this place
was his
is.
home. All his old friends and family were there. Taken by the calamity. Zolf must be there all alone, just waiting. You know what's funny? All we can do is sit and talk. Well,
Was that several that I killed immediately, or was that one dude using an illusion? I'm unsure. Or they attacking in waves. Oh no, it does seem like it's multiple.
all of us are waiting for a kid. But Zia, there's another reason I've been telling you all this. Look around. There's not much left to do here at the Bastion, I'm afraid. So why not tell each other stories to pass the time, right?
Come on, try it. Yeah.
brings back that shard, the Bastion will be complete. This disease the Arab planted here will go away.
Come on, hit him.
What happens to Zolf will no longer matter. Zealandia will be whole again. Everything will be back to normal. Everyone will be all right. Problem is, we'll all be gone. But we're not gonna die. It's more like all of this will just stop. Things will go back to the way they used to be. That's the power of the Bastion. This whole place is a living record of the times before the calamity. The way things were before this story. Good times, right?
Oh, okay.
You'll be your old self again. Think of all those times that didn't go your way. You follow me?
Nope. Woo, Jesus. Bam.
All of life's little setbacks. Imagine if you could have another go at them.
Ah.
No mistakes.
Oh, it's the suddenly, okay.
Anyone you've ever hurt. Everything you've ever done, you could do it over. And wouldn't that be grand? Wouldn't you agree? Well,
That's not the button I
I
wanted to
guess
press for
there's
sure.
nothing more to say.
Den Geist.
Who am I kidding?
these up. Not that it's gonna do a lot, but
Look,
oops. Ow.
there's something else. A confession.
Ah! Come on. Button. Here we go. Whee!
How come I know so much about the Bastion?
Because you came up with it. You created it.
Well, I designed the place. But that's beside the point.
Who the fuck? Come back here. Alright, I'm done.
There's one problem with a place that sets things back to a bygone time. You can't test it.
Oh. Okay.
So you're probably wondering if the calamity happened already. What's to stop it from happening again after the Bastion does its thing? The answer is... I don't know. You're wondering if there ain't some other way out of this mess. It's all right. I can tell. But why would you even want another way? Unless you wanted to stay here with us. Well, that's sweet and all, but I don't know if I can stick around. The weight of the calamity. It's on our shoulders. We can't just let it go.
Okay, sure.
Bastion does have another function, strictly speaking.
What the fuck am I supposed to use this for? Here? No? Supposed to go back? No.
If ever the monument blew out, and we couldn't repair it, we could still evacuate. First, we'd round up as many folks as we could carry. Next, we'd detonate the cores. We'd take off away from here. Heavy, ain't it? Of course, that would mean no going back. Ever. But then again, that way all of us could leave the city. Together. You know Zolf and his countrymen won't be giving up that shard without a fight, don't you?
Well, that's the fight they took to put up.
All they want now is to see the Bastion fall. Zolf dedicated his life to a lasting peace between the Ura and Caelondia. He can't have imagined the city would try to wipe the Ura out. Zolf ain't lost every shred of decency, though, has he?
Oh, no. That's fun.
He tried to warn you about his plans. He tried to warn the kid. For Zolf, this ain't a personal matter. It's such a shame. Because he has life.
There we go.
It ain't a simple matter of pride either. One thing's for sure. The Ura can't be happy that the kid followed Zolf all the way home.
Now we tiptoe all the way across. Tiptoe our way to victory. Oi, bitches. Ah. Here we go. What? The situation is hopeless and a distraction. His plan to avenge Sura only brought more suffering. All that matters is the safe return of the shard. So his body needed but breathing. It appears that his countrymen turned on him as their situation grew desperate. Okay. Interesting. I don't know which decision. I don't know if this is the decision. I feel like this is probably reasonable.
I can see it now. The kid in one corner, and Zolf in the other. Ain't much of a fight. Don't you worry, though. Once the Bastion's restored, it'll all be alright. You ain't still thinking about that whole leaving the city thing, are you?
Well, I don't actually. Well, I don't actually have a health bar, so. Okay, well, it still says heal and whatnot. This is curious then. Alright. Oh, they decided to give up.
Your star, you left it burning for me.
Oh, no, not this fucker. Oh. Okay. I was like, oh, no, one dude didn't, and then Jason went, fuck off, stop doing that.
Kid's probably dealt with Zolf by now. It reminds me of myself when I was his age. I ever tell you about those days? Hey, kid.
Yeah, no, I guess this much.
Get up, kid. Come on, that ain't funny. I say get up. That's more like it. Now, set that shard into the monument there. Then we'll talk. First things first, kid. The Bastion's waiting.
Oh, I still have this.
Can't believe you brought him back again. Bet you had to do more than say please this time.
Guess I have to do that, so.
The Bastion. It's finally finished. Now, there's something I want you to see. Welcome to the heart of the Bastion. I ain't one for long goodbyes, so here's the deal. Zia and I figure you done the heavy lifting, so you get to do the honors. We can tell you how to work this thing if you got any questions. Hey, kid.
King Jesus, okay.
You made it.
Oh, wow, you actually get to talk.
So, let's see. You can either prevent the calamity, or stick around with me and Rex. I'd hate to be in your shoes.
Now, just the phrasing of that confused me because of their discussion before. From what it sounded like, it was like we can turn back to the point before the calamity happened and then peace the fuck out, or we just go back and don't peace the fuck out. Which seemed almost like the same, but right.
If I could be any place I wanted, I'd stay right here. We could go anywhere in the world. Zolf tried to talk me into joining him. I tried to talk him out of it. I guess we both failed. When I finally found my people, I told them we could help. They just took me for a traitor. Glad you showed up. Any moment I'd want to live again happened after the calamity, not before.
Sure, but what was this? What was the thing he was talking about where they would grab as many people as they could and then leave? That seemed to be when people were around, which they aren't at the moment. That was the backup plan. Yeah. And that is separate to the other things? Okay, because that's the one I was... Yeah.
Ready to get this over with?
You can undo the calamity here and now. Go on, kid. And before I forget, thank you. Always wondered what the motherland was like. Not that it matters anymore. Zolf only brought more ruin to the Ura. No wonder they didn't take kindly to him. You've got one thing left to do, so you hang on to that badge. Besides, you earned it. Don't let anything you've done get to you. You can save all those creatures here and now.
Use only as directed. The previous world state. Initiate the Bastion's evacuation protocol. Because process will cause irreparable damage to the core receptacles, disabling the restoration protocol. Right.
Oh, mother. And here I figured you'd had enough of me by now. You could have undone the calamity itself. But instead, you want to stay in a world like this. I gotta admit, kid, I ain't yet put much thought in that idea. But carrying on, with you here, we can't go back no more. But I suppose we could go wherever we please. And if anyone's left out there, I sure would like to see the look in their faces when we dock this thing right on that doorstep. Getting ahead of myself, though. I'm gonna need a first mate. What do you say?
I mean, the Ura surely, they didn't, get fucked by the calamity, seemingly. Or there seemed to be plenty of them left, so clearly it's not like a complete disaster situation. Also, going back and reverting to before the calamity happened, it's like, how are you gonna stop it? I don't believe you had a specific plan to, like, not do that. We're also below the ground. Right, yeah. So, like, because otherwise... I don't see any reason why resetting would be a smart choice, because you're just, like, unconsciously, like, later on, like, reliving the same things. Because, yeah, if you go back, it's like you could stop the calamity, but you don't know that that's going to happen because you reset before it happens, and you don't keep your memories, right? That would be the thing. So you wouldn't have the knowledge that you have now, so you could just fix the thing before it happens anyway. So you would just go back to what you did before, and then the thing happened, then you go through the events again. Which seems like you're not really doing anything. And so, like, just dealing with what is the current situation seems like a more reasonable choice. Yeah. Now, like, they don't know if this is the first time that this has happened, or if it's happened several times. Like, if they've gone back several times, or if it's the first time, who knows? And it's like, but you still do have like you get a choice basically of yeah, like it's not, you still have a choice then of like uncertainty, or you are very certain of what you can do at this moment. Like you have one option where you know you take everything you can and you do something with the situation, or you have this uncertainty where you have no idea what will happen. Who knows what will happen when you revert back to a previous world? Say like you're like something. It's unclear. It could be worse, it could be better, who knows? But you have one choice which you know you can do something with. And also, yeah, based on the, like, what was it? His mom is dead, everyone, or like, in his family is dead. And stuff. I forget the specifics of what that one time where you, or all the details when they gave the backstory to about him, but yeah. Right, yeah, I guess that's the end of talking about the story of said game. In general, or all in all, cool game. Certain parts were not great. I also hate certain enemies. The first half felt better than the second half until the end of the second half. The end of the second half was good. It only gets better from here. I mean, I played Hades, which was amazing. So, and like the auto aim sort of was partly good, partly terrible sometimes. When you want to aim at one thing, or like when you're blocking, you want to block in one direction, but since there are multiple enemies, the game decides to block in a different direction instead. And if you are trying to do a counter parry or counter block, you're doing it in the wrong direction, which causes it to fail and you get hit instead. Shit like that was slightly annoying sometimes. And also when the game decided to throw out a lot of things against you, it could be a bit weird and not janky, but New Game Plus mode unlocked. Look for New Game Plus in the story menu. Yeah. Begin the journey with all your weapons. The XP, new shrine, just okay, really? All Bastion structures buildable in any order. I see. Score attack mode. All structures, spirits, and idols unlocked, plus repeatable areas and a scoring system. Okay. Start a new game with all structures, spirits, and idols unlocked, plus all weapons and XP from the last game. Yeah, I was like, what? All things? Alright, no. Not all things. But I mean, otherwise, overall, it was good. Ah, Jesus! Broke my controller. Just have a few things I wasn't too keen on, but you know, in general, it was good. Yeah, basically, yeah, went first half good, went down a little bit, and then it picked up towards the end again. In certain ways, it wasn't like a full fucking drop necessarily, but just a little small dip and then went up again. Nearly every game is better at the start. Oh, don't say that. That's not necessarily the case. I can't give an example necessarily at the moment, but I'm sure that's not necessarily the case. That's normally what the pitch for the project is. I mean, some games just get better the more you play them, though. Like, the starting point might be the worst point because it just gets better as you play it. But anyways. Right, I don't know what the next game I will be playing is. I'll pick that on Friday, I believe. In most cases, well, yeah, sure. Clearly, obviously, you want to build something that is polished to the point that you want the player to continue. We got 3 days to figure out what we'll be playing exactly. Yeah. Find this.